In our country, there are fundamental freedoms and rights that are enshrined in our Constitution, guaranteed to every single American, among which are our right to privacy and protection of our civil liberties. Now, the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution very specifically prohibits unreasonable searches and seizures without a warrant based on probable cause. But over the last 2 decades, in part because of information revealed by Edward Snowden, we now know that there have been ongoing breaches of our civil liberties through programs that were instituted through the Patriot Act and the FISA Amendments Act, which basically allowed agencies within our government to conduct mass illegal surveillance on Americans without a warrant or probable cause. For example, Section 215 of the Patriot Act has been used for years by the NSA to collect domestic phone records of millions of law-abiding Americans, again, without any kind of probable cause. FISA Amendments Act did something similar, but it allowed for mass collection of our emails. The intelligence community has not been transparent or honest with the American people or even Congress about what they've been doing. Some of you may know when James Clapper, who was the former director of national intelligence, was asked by the US Senate in an open hearing about whether or not the government was conducting this mass surveillance, this mass collection of information on everyday Americans, he lied under oath and said no. So to address these issues, my friend and colleague Congressman Tom Massey and I introduced legislation called the Protect Our Civil Liberties Act to make sure that Congress re-examines how best to strike this balance of protecting our national security interests while also ensuring that the constitutional rights of every single American is preserved. So here's a basic summary of what our legislation would do. Number one, it would repeal the Patriot Act, again, which included those provisions allowing for the mass collection of telephone metadata on everyday Americans. Number two, it would repeal the FISA Amendments Act, which contained those provisions allowing for mass collection of our emails. Three, it would make retaliation against federal national security whistleblowers illegal, people like Edward Snowden, and it would make sure that those who engaged in this kind of retaliation would be terminated. Four, it would ensure that any collection of information, again, on an American must be based on a warrant with probable cause. Five, it would prohibit these government-mandated, quote-unquote, backdoors from being built into electronic devices or software that would allow the government to bypass encryption or other privacy technology built into those systems. Number six, it would mandate that the Government Accountability Office, the GAO, would regularly monitor domestic surveillance programs for compliance with the law. This would happen on an annual basis. Protection of our civil liberties is essential. Join us in making sure that our constitutional rights are upheld. Call your member of Congress and ask them to co-sponsor H.R. 8970 today.
Because a phone call is going to make that happen. So what I clearly stated to everybody, and I'll make it simple, absolutely, the reason why the Patriot Act started was because of a bullshit fucking war, weapons of mass destruction, and a bullshit con job 9/11. It was basically just so they could make more money, take away your rights, spy on you more, which is not good. I know people, well, if you got nothing to hide, look, I got nothing to hide. I'm all over Facebook, I'm all over Twitter, kids, all kinds of stuff, you know. I have nothing to hide, but I still want my privacy. I still don't want people going into my fucking emails without my authorization or without a court order. It's my right to have those freedoms, those inalienable rights, right? So that the Constitution protects us, protects you as a U.S. citizen, the U.S. voting republic. And then at the same time, You want to make sure that when you are out there, saying or whatever, do whatever you're doing, that you also have those protections in regards to your First Amendment rights to say the things that you'd like to say. No matter how, you can there's YouTubes and Facebooks and Twitters and, everywhere else on how to make like fucking hydrogen bombs and, Molotov cocktails, how to do all kinds of really sick, disgusting, heinous, and terrible things that are still up. Right? But they want to take away your rights, and they want to, it's the predator class. I'm not saying they, and it's on both sides of the aisle. But it's very simple. I think that's a good bill. I just hope that she's in or out. I want her to keep doing what's important, to take care of the people that I think still in her brain, or that she cares about, maybe the 99%, and, pretty much all the country. But, is she going to stay with it? Is she in or is she out? Is she going to continue the fight? Which, in my opinion, I think she kind of fell back on. And she kind of hesitated and stopped. She was gung-ho. She had her sword and shield. She was going through flak and cannon fodder and bullets whizzing by like Wonder Woman. If you ever seen that when she comes out of the ditch and she's running and she's holding anyway. And she was that, and then all of a sudden she just stopped. She just cold stone, not the ice cream, just fucking stopped. And that was a huge letdown. There were so many people that were just devastated by that actual decision. I support Joe Biden. And then I was just like, what? And look, the giant slap in her face, and God damn it, just, how much can you go through? And then fucking Kamala's right there, the first person that got taken down in the fucking Democratic debates, the first person that just got annihilated by her is now the vice president, probably going to be the laid out, purposely Clinton mafia made, in my opinion, president of the United States. First black woman, throw everybody in jail, support private prisons, keep that fracking going. Neoliberal corporate elite tool. We all know it. You can go on and on and on. How this woman, Kamala Harris, is just crap compared to Tulsi, from what Tulsi kept portraying and saying, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm hoping that she will stick to her guns. And if she doesn't like what her party's doing and not supporting, et cetera, then she needs to fucking get out. She needs to get out of there and just write her vote in. Like, I'm starting non-party voters where you can just write people in, which we need to start doing. The parties have let everybody down. I don't know how much, I'm going to do an actual show on that, but we've been conditioned to believe that we need a political party in order to be free or to have our rights or to get anywhere as a mass of public citizens in the United States. Yes, conditioned to believe that, but that's not the truth. That's not the way it was created. Many intelligent, ingenious, our forefathers, many of them warned us of the party process. Because what happens, groups get together and they turn into a party and then boom, they get compromised. Period. Just what happens. You already got Andrew Yang hanging out with Ryan Knight of the Movement for a People's Party. Because he's so progressive, the abused word by the Democrats. He's just a fucking opportunist. This guy crushed it. Genius. Andrew Yang fucking crushed it. He got where he wanted to be. Now he can write a book. Now he can do all the stuff he wants. He's been on CNN. He's now a pundit, consultant, whatever the fuck they call those those hyperbolic shitheads, right? But that's the problem. Is I don't want this to go nowhere. And Tulsi throws out some great bills, says some wonderful things, but she needs to stay the course. Is she going to stay and hold that shield and that sword and get to the next trench, you know, and win? Or is she, and try to fucking take it on full bore? Or is she going to take the deal? I mean, we all know that fucking Bernie took the deal, right? He took it back in 2017, you know, without lube. And then he took it again with sandpaper. It was just fucking terrible to see what happened to this fucking dude. And there's still people following him, which is sad, which is super sad. So I love the bill. I think it's brilliant. I think it's smart. It's called the Civil Liberties Act, HR 8970. She didn't bring up Julian Assange. She brought up Snowden. I guess she liked his movie. I thought it was pretty clever. But yeah, that is, we really need to have our rights. We really need to have our own privacy. We don't need our shit being sold or used against us. We need to have due process and representation and a lot of other things that the Patriot Act and the NDAA, which Obama fucking stamped a few times, can really make people's lives terrible. There have been people in Guantanamo that had nothing to do with anything that are still there for nothing. It's anyway. So Tulsi, I hope we win this. I hope we get going. Yeah, call your senator, email your representative, get on the phone, go protest, whatever it takes. But the Democrats, I just don't see them all pulling together for this. And as I've said, this bill will pretty much, in a sense, kind of do what Jimmy's doing right now, trying to get people to spot who the fucking fakes are, who the shitheads are, who the corporate tools are. And I think if you support this and what it's trying to do, then I believe you definitely should have a place, or pretty much have a good place on the Hill or in Congress. But if you oppose this, or if you do not believe it is needed or necessary, then you're just part of the vile, disgusting, corrupt predator class. You're part of that group, and there's a lot of them fucking stand in line. It's pretty sad. So this is kind of a litmus test for a lot of people, I think, as well as Jimmy's movement is as well, which I think is a good one. I just don't see much happening with both of these until we leave these parties. I'm telling you, once you start leaving these parties, I'm talking about everybody, both parties. Once you start leaving, they'll start going, wait, where'd everybody fucking go? What's going on? And maybe they start doing something. But if you just say, I want this and I want that, but I'm still going to stay in the party, good luck. I mean, think about that. It's like you're still going along for the ride to hell, but you're complaining the entire way. But you're still in the car, right? And the fucking corporate elite, predator class are fucking driving it. And the co-pilot is the fucking supposed public servants, and you're in the back, probably in the old station wagon in the very back seat that faces the rear end, and you go, I don't know, I'm trying to fucking bitch and complain and call my senator and email and write letters, but nothing's happening, because you're still in that fucking car, and it's still going to go over that cliff with those fucking drunken, disgusting pieces of shit that are probably on every drug imaginable, and just a bunch of weirdos and fuck-ups, okay? And it's just amazing that they're rich and powerful. Most of it's golden spoon fed. Anyway, so the next thing, and this is important. This is a good one. This is my favorite. And I'll go to this, is, whoo, all right. I got pulled, man. I'm a little proud. I'm kind of like, I've got like 355 subscribers. And I've done like 400 or 500 blog talk shows, or I've done a lot of stuff. I mean, you know, it's for me. It's not about selling coffee cups or T-shirts or, you know, getting fucking super chats. It's not. But the thing is little old me got fucking censored. One of my YouTubes got pulled. I mean, talk about being part of the club, right? At first, I was like, what just happened? And then after that, after I realized what happened, I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm on the radar. Right now. I'm on the radar, man. I'm on the fucking radar. Right? Hey, welcome, Molly. How you doing? Why are you black? Okay. Anyway, I got pulled, and basically the reason why, I guess I said the C word too much. The COVED word, or maybe the FICCINE word, or maybe I said I was connecting the dots too much, because basically what I was doing is, there it is, TV show meme. I was just kind of going over all the hyperbolic nonsense that's happening out there. If you've seen Dark Storm or Winter or whatever the hell it is, or if you've seen the Atlantic Storm and the Cloud X and all this other crap, and I feel like I've got to disguise my voice now and not say these things. But if you notice, you know, event 2001 million, right? If you've seen all those events, I was clearly pointing out, and me just researching them and looking at them, watching the videos and how they were all set up. They're proposals. From my perspective, they look like they were proposals, like a proposal you do in a board meeting, or you're coming in to sell a product and you're front man, and you're like going, okay, so here's what we have here, and here's how it'll affect the customers, and this is what it'll do for your product, and we can advertise it more and do this, and those events or exercises, right? And I'll try to say it really fast. It's Dark Winter, Atlantic Storm, Cloud X, Event 201, right? And those four, and there's been a few, I just thought they were proposals. There was just, after, because I've done proposals. I've done some for restaurant companies. I've done some for racing team companies. I've done a bunch of them for solar. And I know how they're put together. And it was just very obvious that the last one finally got bought, or the board or the people, whether it's the G20, G7, Bilderberg, you name it, all these giant, UN, whatever. They said, hey, this looks like a moneymaker. Let's fucking do it. Right? So this is what I thought about in regards to the what does he call it? The cornholio? The flu, in regards to the flu. So that we're undergoing right now. I still feel like I have to fucking speak in tongues or code or some Greek, Latin, or nomenclature or whatever the fuck. But that's what happened. I think I'm really close to that. I mean, if you're in sales, you've done proposals, you'll understand. If you look at all that information, you're going, oh my God, that's what those are. Those are fucking proposals. Because all those investors and all those billionaires are looking at them going, I think there is a way to make money here. I think there's a way to make a shit ton of money. If we set this up right, and if we work this plan, we'll make a shit ton of money. That's how it always ends up. When the proposal goes out, the people that have been proposed to will sit around, they'll real quick, and they'll go, it'll take like 2 or 3 days. They'll do some test models, not algorithms, more like mathematical theories on what could happen, blah, blah, blah. They get their marketing teams together, and they see how it's going to work, and they come back and say, fucking let's do it. When do we do it? Well, we got to get rid of, Carrie Mullins is gone, which is good. That's the inventor of the PCR test. So that's why we're really going to kind of move forward, because that's the guy that could actually say that the PCR test is bullshit. So he's gone. So we have like the green light. We could use the PCR test as the green standard, as the gold standard, not the green, the gold standard, right? So boom, it just gives them more validity in what they're doing, the way they think, of course, the money that's involved. But anyway, so that was my point, and I'll try to present it some other time on how that works. But if you kind of understand some of the things that I'm talking about, then you will definitely look into that and say, oh my God, those are fucking proposals. And the last one stuck. And here we are in this giant freaking flu crap that we're fucking going through, which is, I mean, Bill de Blasio of New York was in a subway telling everybody it's okay to ride on the subway. But he's closing, at the same time, he's closed down hundreds and hundreds of restaurants. It's just the hypocrisy of all of it, you know. And then Gavin Newsom in California. Oh, just want to let you know, sorry, I fucking had a little get together with some friends. There were just like 14, 15 people there, no mask. We were indoors. They were in fucking doors in a small enclosed area, but you couldn't have Thanksgiving. And you can't go see your family. So somebody either knows something that we don't know, or this is just fucking total bullshit. So I think with that information that's constantly coming out, we are, and there are more and more people. It used to be maybe 25, 30% of the U.S. voting republic was not okay with a vaccine, but it's gotten tremendously bigger from all the information. But they're still pushing it. They're still moving it. It's still coming. Some countries mandatory. Some countries you can't get a paycheck, or you can't work, or you can't do certain things, which is true, unless you take it. Like I've said, there's just too much information to show, basically, that it's just not safe, people. There's just too much information to show that it's not safe. Like, oh, I got to show you this. Now I'll show you later. We'll do that some other time. But I wanted to get to the next thing is what I'm talking about is exactly this. And let me just show you. Let me see. Right here. All right. So the biggest thing I have a problem with is they won't let you see the ingredients. Right? They won't let you see exactly what's inside of this vaccine. Right? They won't let you see it at all. And I could be pulled because of just saying vaccine. Vaccine. But so they won't let you see the ingredients for another 2 years. They won't let you see the data. They haven't even had the Pew research done like they've done on all of them. There are too many warning signs in regards to this. It's just, there's so many things that are happening out there that I just truly believe are just bad. I truly believe that, per my information, right? And it's really sucks because now I can't really go in deep, right? I feel like I just can't go in deep, but, you know, I'm going to fucking read it off because I'm sick of being this bullshit. The thing that bothers me the most is there's a 120-page study on all of this. It hasn't been tested on children. It hasn't been tested on... Usually vaccines take about 5 to 10 years to do. Sometimes 15, sometimes longer. Like I said, the quickest vaccine was 4 years. Just a little over 4 years. This is not a lie. You can fucking look it up. And I wanted to research that. But this one, I guess, is being done in, I know, really fast, warp speed, you know, gung-ho, Star Trek, super fast. Yeah, the biggest thing definitely is the data won't be released. This is kind of interesting, I thought. The peer review, the peer review, until they've completed their analysis of safety data, that will not be submitted. They will not submit that. Let that sink in. So, and that's what all vaccines have to go through, except for this one. And I think the most important thing everybody needs to understand is there's no liability to this at all. Nobody's going to get sued. I heard somebody say, oh, they'll have those commercials later on. Did you take this drug or use this on your face or whatever? And an attorney will help you fight for your rights. This is different. They are completely indemnified. We're talking about Pfizer. We're talking about Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, AstraZeneca. They're all completely indemnified. They cannot be touched. They will not be held in any way accountable legally by anybody. So if you eat a hamburger, and there's something in there that's bad that hurts you, you can go after fucking Burger King. You can go after McDonald's. You can go after Jack in the Box. You can go after Del Taco. You can go after, whoever, right? Hardee's, Carl's Jr., you name it. You can go after whoever you want, right? If something in any way that is consumed in your body causes you harm, side effects, etc., 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 maybe autism, who fucking knows, you can go after that company if you're able or if you're still alive to do it. Or you can have others in your family members do the same thing. But in this vaccine, which should be the most alarming point, is that they are completely unaccountable. They are indemnified. That means that they cannot be touched legally by nothing. They'll never go to jail. They'll never be sued, right? They'll never get, hung or shackled or guillotined or nothing. I mean, if 1,000 people take it and 40 people out of those 1,000 get Bailey's disease or autism, or they become sterile, or they have some serious or bad side effects, those 40 people get nothing. They will literally just be shit out of luck. I think that's the most important thing you need to take away from this thing, is there's no way in hell that any repercussions will come back to any of these companies that are involved. They are all together, and for Trump and for Biden and for our legislators and our judiciaries and the mainstream media, this is so horrific, just soaking this in, for them to allow that and to push that upon everybody, to sell it hook, line, and sinker, the full package, the big marketing. Oh, lady took it. I got these people take. Got this, but you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car, right? Obama and Clinton and George Bush are going to take obviously a fucking placebo, right? I want to see that bottle when it's done. I want to see the injection fucking go in. I want to take that syringe. I want to test it and see if that fucking actual vaccine that everybody else is taking is using it. And I am saying this to anybody. If you are getting that, somebody try to get a sample. I want somebody to do to take this fucking thing apart and see what's inside of it. Because it's, from what I've heard, and there's so many different laid claims and theories and all this other stuff, whatever. But even if I knew what was in it, knowing that they can't be held responsible, I still wouldn't fucking take it. Right? I'm not going to put something in my body that I can't go back to that company and say, bro, that Gatorade just is killing people now. It gave me some effect. I ate those Top Ramen noodles and now this is happening to me. Well, Top Ramen Morocon should, I don't know, they should probably be sued anyway, because that's just bad stuff for anybody. Sadly, I eat it a lot. I know it's bad. But I think you guys get my point. I think you must get my point. If you are unable to go after somebody who provides you with something, and you're no longer able to go after them, right? You know, it's just like, it is what it is and you're screwed. That's it. I just think that's bad. And the worst thing is all your legislators on both sides of the aisle, all your judiciaries on both sides of the aisle, right? All your executives, your mayors, your governors, and your, we don't know who fucking really is president, honestly. Like I said, I think fucking Trump's going to concede because it's part of the plan. They're all pushing this. What does that say about them? What does that really say? I can only say it so many times. I can only tell you guys what's happening, but that has to be the biggest red flag. Is that you will not be able to do a damn thing if any repercussions come up or upon you from taking this vaccine. And it's not even 100% supposed to fucking keep you from getting the virus or a virus or some virus. It's not. It only has like a 60, 70, I don't know, whatever the rate of further transmission is. It's shitty. Please understand this. You cannot trust these people. They lied you into these wars. They lie you into they have commercials on fucking television about a drug that's going to help you. But towards the end of the commercial, they said, well, you might have diarrhea, vomiting, blood out of your stool. You might have pass out frequent. If you pass out or something, please call your doctor immediately. All this shit. This is constant. Big pharma, right, sold this fucking proposal, did a great job. They had some good front men out there. Bill Gates, great front man, right? Sold it, hook, line, and sinker, and everybody's buying it. Why that guy, honestly, is able to curb U.S. political policy or activities and his influence, which is really amazing. That a guy that's not a doctor, he's not a virologist, he's not a fucking scientist, he's just some guy that stole the company from another guy in a garage because he was already shit rich, right? Already shit rich. Look it up. I'll send you the proof. And he stole the company and then became what he is. And because he has all the money in the world, people just listen to him. You know, that's the bottom line. And that's what's controlling the people that are making these terrible decisions for you in regards to this vaccine. It's because it's obvious. Campaign money, grease under the table, backroom deals, golf course deals. I've seen them. I know they're happening. I know they fucking happen. Tell me they don't. Anybody tell me a golf course deal never happens in regards with some politician at some form, way or another, with some contractor or some supplier or some distribution company. Tell me that doesn't fucking happen. It happens a lot. Like I said, we got to get money out of politics. It's going to help. And non-party voters, just fuck these parties, man. Anyway, all right, that's quick. I'm done. Thank you guys so much for listening. No, I'm not going to back off in regards to YouTube, but I am going to kind of put my, and I thought that was one of my best made shows because I had slided on Google Slides. It was very well done, which kind of sucked. But the thing that I really believe everyone needs to do is always question authority. It's your right. It is your right to question authority at every turn, even before they turn. Question the source, not the deliverer of the source, the source, right? When I put up information about CDC, NIH, just everybody, World Health Organization, you know, the FEC, not the FDA, etc., just everybody, you know, Health and Human Services, et cetera, et cetera. I will put that information out there, and if you ever have any questions about any of the things I'm talking about, I'll guide you, right? The other thing that you could do is really simple, is just go to my blog. It's called monotalk1.blogspot.com. That's monotalk1 censor'd.blogspot.com. You can see it here. It'll also be in the notes. And yeah, we need to resist all this crap because this is what I really believe right here. This is what I really believe. This is one of my best cartoons. And then I'll end with this. The elephant says to the donkey, "Don't worry, I'll get them to vax. You better. We've got a lot of money invested." Right? Okay. Aloha, guys. You guys get the point. Don't fucking take that thing. Don't take it. Don't take it. Okay?